welcome to Soundwaves. This is where we are getting powerful stories out of amazing creative minds and most of all, get to know why these people do what they do. For this episode, I invited Sebastian Lopez, who's also known under his DJ name Flug. We've met each other in Berlin when we had a DJ gig together and we kept in touch ever since. I invited him for this podcast because I know how he's been dealing with the pandemic and how it changed him and how he's dealing with all the challenges that he's facing. And he's a true inspiration for all of us. He has a really long and welcoming insight into what it really means to be a DJ and producer in today's techno world, which in his opinion means keeping it real. When it comes to a pandemic and lockdowns, you will definitely hear some little side effects when it comes to some background noises in this episode. And also, if you want to see him on video, then please watch this episode on my YouTube channel. So, Sebastian, it's really great that you said yes to my invitation today because I have been in touch with you during the lockdown and just as friends to see how you are doing. And we were talking music, but also how we are dealing with this lockdown and with the pandemic. And you told me such amazing things that really inspired me that I decided, with your approval, to share those tips and things that you have been through and that you discovered for yourself. I shared them last Sunday on the Beatport Reconnect live stream, which was all related to mental health. So thank you for that. And then I thought, you know what? Why should I just, we had little time, so I couldn't really invite you and Chris because Chris Liebing was the other person that I have shared stories from. And it was too late to set up these calls. And I'm like, you know what? I think everybody should hear stuff like this coming from, from out of your mouth. So thank you so much for having this conversation with me now recorded.
You're welcome, my dear. Thank you very much for inviting me, actually. Yeah.
So to start, how have you been dealing with the pandemic? How was it for you in the beginning?
Well, as all artists in the beginning was like kind of holidays or something like that, because especially for me, I'm not those kind of really big artists traveling all the time. I'm traveling enough to be tired and being out of my family, and it's hard to deal sometimes. So in the beginning was like, okay, this must be like something that I need to approach with a really hope feeling, and that was the start. I was not really into the music stuff for the first month or so.
Mm-hmm.
And I was trying to keep my mind active and doing many stuff like painting with my child or doing different stuff with the family, food and exercises, things that for example, I really like to cook, but I'm not really sporting guy, especially at home.
Mm-hmm.
Or especially out of games, for example, football. I'm not going to the gym, or I'm not like those thing doesn't work with me before. So yeah, that was the first month or so, and then I start to feel like a little bit depressive because I saw that the things will not change for a long period. So you need to deal with. When you are living from this career and you don't have like a big support from family staff or whatever, if you don't have savings or if you are not doing the right things before, you can be really fucked up in this moment,
Mm-hmm.
Luckily, we are a team. I'm still with my wife since 17 years now, so we've been working really well together the last years, and we have some savings, so we dealing really well in the economics thing, so we don't have so many stress in this way, and that helps a lot. Especially when you have a kid and you need to cover a lot of expenses and blah blah blah. So yeah, in that way it was really cool. But then in the artistic way, in the way that you've been working, for me was like a little bit pain in the ass, because I have my first top one during the quarantine on Beatport, for example. First time that I've been first in one chart in Beatport was during the quarantine, and it's supposed that you need to be advantage about these things. In the same way, I was like depressed because all my gigs were cancelled, and okay, what I will do during these months and blah blah blah. So I start to feel like a little bit depressed. I can tell you depressed to call it in one word, but honestly, I'm a really positive person. So I never think in the bad things. I always think in the good things. So yeah, that was the moment that I was like thinking about, okay, how I will do this beautiful, how I will do these things that is happening, profit or whatever, something that changed this mood that it was like annoying for me, because I'm always like a really hard worker, man, and I'm always like with project and things. So, well, first thing that I was positive to do is to take care of myself. And that was a thing that when you are traveling and you are really into your routine every day, working and working and working and working and working, and you are always thinking how can be better, how your career can be better. So you haven't enough time to manage, or you don't know how to manage the time to, especially on my experience, to be a healthy person. So I started classes with a guy. Oh, this will affect us. There is a neighbor doing
Really?
like,
no worries.
So, well, this was the beginning of a new position in my life, that I decided to be a healthy person. So I start to do sports with a group of people every Wednesday, Tuesday and Thursday, and then I go to swim every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. That before this was completely not possible for me. Mm-hmm. And also play football, always play football. But I started to feel better and better and better. And I wake up really early in the morning, around 8 or 7:30, I mean. And I went to sports, and then I start my day with a completely different approach. And I feel so well. Mm. And that makes me makes me a big powerful inside of me, that I can use for all my routine, like then for music, for family, cooking, everything that I'm doing in my normal life. And also new projects, things that I've been working lately. For example, the new label that I just opened, and also we are working in a new web page that will serve for music business, especially, and also sample market, and it's like it's a whole thing, and I'm really happy in this moment. It's like there is a lot of project that I'm building and I'm working on, and but especially I'm happy because I'm healthy right now. I feel like I'm really strong, and I'm dealing with these bad times in a really good way. I mean,
Yeah, you mentioned to me that you really became more resilient to everything that you are dealing with in during the pandemic. So working out, your not just your body became stronger, but also your mind. You starting the day with that routine for yourself, and because of that, you have more positive energy and more strength to take on everything that you want to be taking on that day, right?
that's 100% agree. If you create that energy, or uh, in physics, probably endorphins that working really well for your mind, and then you have a really good um, approach to live your life every day with a completely different mind thinking. It's like, for me, it's like when sometimes it's hard, because sometimes for me, wake up really early and go to sport so early, and you need to be like really active, and I'm not so much active in the morning, just going to a studio or something like that. But I'm not really an active person in the morning. It's more being during the day. But then when you change your air, and you being, I don't know, we used to do this really close to the sea, so you move around. I go out from my house with my dog, and I go to the beach, and I do the sports in the beach with my friends, and that it's super important, because you are socializing, you are doing sports, you are healthy in the end. That's health for me. That's exactly. I mean, I don't want to be like a really strong guy. I mean, when I mean strong things, I mean in a whole full body mind.
Yeah.
This is what I'm growing right now. I'm growing that strongness, that it's come with your friends, with that 10 minutes that you walk around the sea, and you see the sea and you see the sun, especially in Barcelona, that we have a really good weather.
Yeah.
Luckily, for example, today is an amazing day. I have all my windows open, and I mean to share that it's super nice weather today, and we are November 10 already, so we are really lucky. So why we don't take these small things that other people doesn't have, or and it's things that you are really used to had, but you don't see it, because you are living your life like with troubles, and I don't know, all the things that you need to finish that day, and you don't see what you have around. And when you became a guy who says, oh yes, but I don't have time to do sports, and I was that guy before. Now I can tell you that I was lying myself. It was like, I don't want to do it.
Yeah, it's basically a priority, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's a priority thing that you want to do it. If you don't want to do it, if you don't have that purpose, probably you will fail.
Yeah. But before you became literally stronger, like physically and more resilient to things, you did tell me that when the first lockdown hit us and the pandemic hit us, and you were like every artist, like ripped away from what you were normally doing, you did start to feel that you lost a little bit of your perspective. You told me as well that you were questioning everything that you have been doing up to now. Like, why am I actually in the music industry? You even told me, like, what am I actually doing for all these years? And you started questioning everything, and that all has to do with I call it, the big why, the purpose in your life. Can you tell us a little bit about, how that process went for you?
This is why, because you you out of your comfort zone. So when you are out of your comfort zone, you start to see things that you never analyzed before because it was inside of your comfort zone. So you finally, I'm always a guy who was like working so hard that it was impossible to see around our strong vision of being better artists, being better musician, being better right now promoter, I don't know, social media manager, and you need to do so many stuff into this business right now that you are all the time learning how to do that. So in the end, you don't have time to see around. And I'm almost 40 right now, and I've been my whole life working on the business, in the music business. And I say that word that I really hate because it's now for many of us and for the whole industry, it's a business and it's not more a passion, you know. So for me, when I was young, I have the passion for do this. The passion was everything, but then you professionalize you be a professional finally, you know. One day you see around and you have a manager and you have a peer company behind you and somebody who is telling you how you need to dress. There is so many things that works around your career because everybody is making money from your career. So in the end, you start to see everything like a business. And in the same way, you don't see what it's happening around you every fucking weekend, because that's the truth. The truth is that you going traveling every weekend and you drink alcohol and you being always around people who is taking drugs, and it's like smoking and everything that it's in some way wrong. You know what I mean? So in the end, you realize that your life is like all the time around these kind of things that you don't want to live anymore in that way, and you only want music, you know. And it's hard to deal with. It's super hard to deal with because it's what you used to do and it's your comfort zone. So when you're out of your comfort zone and you realize that you have a really nice life with your family, with the thing that's happening around you, the city that you live, and everything that it's you live from the best thing that anybody can do, that it's doing what you love, you know. That's not so many people it's living what they really love, you know. They have a normal job because they need to earn money, and in the end you don't see all these things. So it's a balance. It's a balance that you see that one day you wake up and say, oh, everything is shit, and then you see that you are living from the thing that you really love, that it's music, and well, anything is perfect and anything can work without a balance, you know what I mean? So after having this mental thinking during days and days and days, then you realize that you have a really nice life, and the only thing that you need to separate, it's like the bad thing that you are living into that life, you know. So now that I've been like super sober and super connected with me, my family, my stuff around, I feel so grateful about what music bring me, you know, because I travel around the world. I met many people, amazing people like you, and many friends that we've been we've been doing during our careers, having friends in every part of the world, and that's amazing. That's something that it's super great, and I'm a really communicative person, and I really like to talk with people. And when you have so many friends around the world, and they can tell you the problems that they have in each part of the world, and then you realize that you have so much luck to have this kind of conversation, and it's a conversation that make you bigger and strong, because there is not only your perspective, it's also the perspective of people around the world, so yeah, there is something that you need to balance in this career. But if you find the right balance, I think it's the most perfect thing that you can work.
Actually, I have a question now, because you said that the first time when we were just on the phone catching up, you said, well, I have been questioning everything that I was doing, but I soon started to really feel that music is my life. You said it's the engine to my life. It's connected with everything that I do in my life. But now you have indeed a healthier balance. You're working out, you're stronger, your mind is also stronger. However, you just mentioned a really crucial point. The music industry, and especially also where DJs perform, I always say our working environment is where other people let go. And on top of that, a lot of us are also letting go. First, when you're professional, obviously, you take yourself to the stage and you're being a professional and you deliver, your work, your gig, which is also your passion. However, you're surrounded with people that are letting go of their busy week, or so they're taking indeed alcohol, drugs. It surrounds us all the time. And that can be a dark place as well, which for people that are letting go just in the weekends, but for people that are touring, like DJs with careers that also like you, they are confronted with that all the time. And on top of that, the lack of sleep and the traveling. And then, so my question is actually, now you've built up resilience, but how did you ever think about when everything is opening up again after we kind of controlled the COVID thing? What if everything opens up again? And I don't believe that the people on the dance floor have changed so much. There are still people that want to let go. That's why we come to nightclubs, to festivals. That's why we
it's
come.
It's a social thing.
So do you think that you're strong enough now to deal with that and keep that balance?
Well, I already did 2 gigs during the COVID thing, because in Spain the clubs open during a short period, and I need to deal with already. And it was a really, really hard thing, honestly, because I need to wear the mask. Everybody there was like wearing the mask, but it's hard to wear the mask and you drink. And I honestly think that it's not a moment right now to do it every weekend. I don't know. I honestly, I don't know how I will deal with. I think I will deal with because I need to do it, because it's my job. But I don't know if I will be comfortable with, Probably I will not. Probably I will have some bad feelings. Talking about honestly, 100% honestly, I'm probably feel insecure in some point, because I think it nobody knows how this fucking thing really works. It's like crazy right now, and you have so much information that in the end, I call it this uninformation. It's like something that it's so much information that finally you are not. You don't know how to what thing is right and what thing is wrong, and that it's super hard for our minds to process. So I can tell you that 3 days before the lockdown, I was with a friend that it having the COVID, and I was like really close to him, like when it was the worst moment of the COVID thing. And we've been like 2 days together and party and blah blah blah, and nothing happened. Then my wife was with the COVID, was positive on COVID, and me not. My daughter either. So I don't know. I don't know how much it's the dispersion of the COVID into a club, for example, you know, and I think it's depend of the people. Right now, I'm start to think that it's depend of what your ADN it's prepared or not to deal with this virus right now. I'm not a person that be always aware everything in the healthy things, but this time it's like, okay, I need to deal with this, and we need to deal with this, and in one day we need to change. I don't know if the vaccine will change everything or not, you know. So the day that clubs open again, of course I gonna be there for DJing, you know. I want to do it, but probably I feel insecure in some point, of course, because we don't have the right information that how this thing works, you know, because I don't trust anymore in anything, because one day they say that the COVID is on things, for example, on this, and then a few weeks before I read an article that they can prove that you can take it in your own hands if it's this here. So all this safety thing that we are doing with the alcohol on and all this stuff, I don't know if it's right or not, you know. I don't know if and nobody knows.
We don't have to know. That's up to the people that are, you know, virologists or I have one quick question. Can you take your mic maybe a little bit, because I hear it, I think it's on your back, and it's sometimes you know, we hear it.
I will do it like this.
Yeah.
I'm
actually mostly interested not in how we should deal with the virus, but how, if let's say the clubs are opening again and we can, let's say we have it under control and we can just all party again, and with, you know, and you can do your gigs again, would you trust yourself enough? I mean, between the resilience that you have built up now, the balance, you're feeling so healthy, and this is what you really love. And you were actually, what you told me when we were on the phone, that, you know, you were also a little bit stuck, like many of us, you know, in this industry that is also related to a bit of the stuff that is also dangerous for us, right? If we're confronted with it all the time, like drugs and alcohol. And so would you trust yourself enough to, or do you think, you know, that when everything opens up again, am I able to keep that balance?
I think yes. I'm a man that, you know, I'm a person that when I do a change, it's keep it, never left again down. I have so many changes during my life, because you become a father, or because you have a period of your life that it was many things wrong, and you see and you touch the end of the hole, and you float it again up, and you see, okay, I don't want to be there again. So in my personal vision of life, when you do a change, you need to keep it. Of course, nothing is perfect, and you can keep it perfect as you want, you know. Just a second. Yeah, I'm back. it was my daughter that it's supposed that she can't. It's supposed that she don't come home after the school because she have a class, but she come anyway because she lost something in the school and she need to take it here right now. So well,
Oh, good. That's a good thing about recording during lockdown, right? We are forgiven. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
So yeah, I think it changes that you in my personal life. Always when I do a change, I always keep it. So I'm positive that when everything coming back to normal, I will keep these routines every day, doing sport in the morning, because actually I feel so well that it's impossible to me stop it right now, because it's changing everything. It's like pack in the morning and I wake up and pack, and it's like, okay, go to the gym, and when I come back I have so much energy that I don't need coffee, I don't need anything. It's like more the endorphins that I create doing some sports. So yeah, I think I'm positive that I will have a healthy life after this quarantine. And as I told you, of course nothing is perfect, and I probably I will not able to going every day as I'm going right now, but I'm probably do, I don't know, 3 classes at minimum per week.
Will I ever
I'm
see you
pretty
drunk
sure.
again? Will I ever
Sorry?
see you drunk again? Or should I say, hey, Sebastian?
Yes, of course, of course. I can lie myself. I mean, anything in excess is good. I never be a guy. Yeah, I never be a guy who drink so much, or I going fucked up every weekend or whatever. I'm more the guy who is going to sleep after the party. I'm not the after party guy every weekend. Never ever. And I'm trying to be not a rock star. You know what I mean? I'm always thinking about family back. For example, every Sunday for me, it's a fly back from anywhere in Europe to home. But when I back home, I'm in home. If my daughter and my wife it's in the park, I go to the park. I don't give it a shit if I don't sleep or if I'm tired. But I go to the park because for me, it's important on Sunday, or the day that my child is not in the school or whatever, to be with her doing family things. You know what I mean?
I think people forget sometimes that artists, especially when they are more experienced and they have more years in the music industry, they have families a lot of the times. And you are, because I'm still in the music industry, but many people of my age have left that behind. Obviously I made it my profession out of it because it's my passion. However, people see that person on that stage, right? It is that rock star that you are telling that you are actually not living that rock star life. But people really, I think that's also maybe why people look up to artists, or feeling that they have like this dream life. But I think that's why conversations like this are so important, to break it, to break out of these taboos. Like artists are human beings with a life, and all the expectations that you have to live up to when you are going. Maybe you're really tired and you're doing your third gig in one weekend, and the promoter really wants you to party with them because you're here now, and you're really tired. It's stuff that that you really have to be super strong for, to really protect yourself from things.
Exactly.
Definitely.
Well, anyway, I think you can do it, and you can also go to party. I don't know. I'm a really energetic person. I must admit that I'm a guy who it's like always with a lot of energy, even sleeping a little bit. So that's making more easy to me. For example, oh fuck, now it's my phone. It's somebody called me. I need to. I should
You should have
put
gone on your
this one
laptop,
out.
Sebastian.
No, I'm sorry.
Hold
So what I mean, it's like I'm an energetic person that, and that's made me allow to, for example, go to an after party without drugs, without alcohol, without everything. I just go in there because I love music and or I want to have like conversation with someone, but I don't need to be really high or really drunk to go to an after party. That's bullshit. Also, you know, you can go there and you can have fun without any excess. Problem is like everybody, it's you know, put the intentions of the night into your presence, you know, because you are the DJ and everybody wants to be your friend and be also the one who
they basically want you to party with them and experience the same as what they are experiencing.
Exactly. So, you know, everybody wants to bring you or drugs or alcohol or whatever. And there is the worst part, when you need to say no to everybody, you know, because it's also a little bit unpolite, you know, because everybody it's like when I was vegetarian for many years, when I've been in Argentina, everybody wants to do an asado for me. And when I say no, people feel really angry, you know, like, oh, but the bastard says, you know,
but it's not a cultural thing, right?
Sorry?
It's also a cultural thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Asado in Argentina is like
yeah, but also I mean also that they're getting a little bit angry with you. I don't think that in the Netherlands people are more like, okay, whatever, if you don't want it now, okay. But yeah.
No, because asado it's like a religion thing, not religious because it's religious, but it's something that Argentinians do to someone when they want to show their love, you know. The asado is like something that they do with so much love, you know, because they need to build the fire in a really specific way and do the asado in a really perfect way, and you know, it's like a tradition thing. It's like it's something that they do like really carefully and really, and you know what we're talking in our phone conversation, for me food it's love. So when you do some food for something else, you are bringing love to people, you know. So this is the same, like in Argentina asado is like, it's like a marriage, you know. It's like the marriage of the food, you know, for them. So if somebody invites you on asado and you say no, it's like a marriage and you say no. You know, you are with someone who really love you, and you really love him, and then they tell you, okay, come this Saturday at home, and they prepare everything, and they bring you the ring, and you say no, I'm sorry, I'm not. You know, that ring is horrible. So it's something like that, you know. It's like something that they take like unrespectful. It's happened quite the same when you are going to party and promoter or friends from the promoter wants to be like really good with you, and they bring you alcohol, and then they want to offer drugs and everything, and it's really hard to deal with the no. You know, it's like, but well, for me never was so hard to say no.
Why do you think, what advice could you give others there are so many people that will lose themselves or that have lost themselves in a surroundings like that, an environment like that, and when it's week after week after week, you really get like either depression from all the chemical, you know, changes in your body, or the lack of sleep, or just, you know, becoming addicted to stuff. And for a lot of people, don't underestimate it, it is really difficult to say no. So what advice
Of
would you give
course.
to people that are listening to this? Why is it easier for you?
Well, first of all, you need to deal with your um, I think people who it's like every weekend and every they need to build their own shield
Mm-hmm.
about the situations that they have around. But first of all, I think they need to how to say in English, they need to. I'm losing the words. Um, I think they need to make first self questions, you know, like why I'm doing this, why, what it's the thing that I'm escaping from,
Mm-hmm.
you know, because drugs, alcohol, and all this thing that's happening in our career, it's really linked to, you know, insecurities with personal problems, especially with the thing that's happening during the week. And then you go the weekend and say, okay, I want to escape from all that shit. It's not happening only to DJs, it's happening to a lot of people that I know that it's not DJing.
Yeah.
It's like they use drugs and they use alcohol to escape from their own problems, you know, and their own problems. It's coming because, of course, all of us we have problems. What some of us we saw problems and we saw also advantage, you know. For example, I mean, I have friends in this moment that they are, I call them drama queens, you know, because they are the whole day like saying bad things about this problem that we are having right now,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and the corona, it's a problem, of course. We all of us we have economics problems. All of us we have these insecurities that what fucking is going happen the future.
Mm-hmm.
And many of them they didn't have jobs right now, and they are not doing anything to change this situation, and that it's because they don't want.
Mm-hmm.
They simply don't want to do
Mm-hmm.
it, you know. It's that but in the same point, I know that don't want it's coming with other things that you need to solve first, you
Yeah.
know. First you need to deal with your own shit, you know, because all of us we have those problems that, I don't know, insecurities and this kind of things that you always know that it's inside of you, but you don't know how to deal with,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And in the end, it's something that we are escaping and escaping and escaping. And for me, it's happening every day, and escaping with some things. But then I say, okay, I don't need to escape of this shit. I need to solve this problem, you know.
Yeah.
I need to find a solution.
Yeah.
I need to find a way to change this shit, and it's what you need to do, especially if you have this problem on nights or during the nightlife. You need to think about what are you doing in the nightlife. Why you become an artist, or why you become an addict, you know. And I don't know, for DJs, talking about DJs, I think they lose the magic, you know, because one day you wake up and you are a professional, you are winning money, and you are traveling every day, and you are like playing in festivals every weekend, and what else, you know?
You are tapping into a really important thing here, because we started this conversation and you said, well, you start out of passion and you hated the word business, music business. You said it became an industry, a business. We have to be very much professional. Well, that happens with a lot of people that are following their passion, become good at it because they're talented, which it always brings other things to your passion, which becomes a job. So in that sense, and then keeping up with that success, whatever, how you would, I think, first of all, you need to define what is success to me. Is that only the amount of gigs that I'm doing and the amount of money on my bank account, or is success, I would like to redefine it. First of all, be healthy and happy with what you do, and then the money on your bank account and the gigs are adding up to that. But don't see just the amount of gigs and the money on your bank account as success, because then you will lose yourself somewhere in the middle, and on that ladder to success you will be exposed more and more and more to these environments that we are. If you do 1 or 2 gigs a month and you're like, hey, wow, you're still enjoying it so much because you get those gigs. But when you are a really highly respected and requested DJ, you are in those environments all the time, and this is exactly where a lot of people are losing themselves. To be able to perform, to get when you're really tired and you come into a club. A lot of people that are not artists or that are not working in the music industry sometimes don't get that. It's like they are there to see you, and you need to deliver and perform at your best to every audience that you are playing for. However, that's really difficult when you're tired and you're feeling the pressure and you're away from your family and everybody is offering you drinks and drugs, and you're like, hey, well, you know what, let's try it. So my mind and my energy is connecting more and leveling more with what is happening there in the club and on the dance floor. And when you do that all the time, and we know so many people that are obviously to a certain extent have lost themselves, or we see them a little bit changing, and this is exactly how would you break that? How would you? That is just really, really interesting, because a lot of people that, especially young talent, right, they have no idea yet. People that are more experienced and have been working in the music industry for a longer time, we know the ins and outs, right? We know all the good stuff, but we also know all the bad stuff. But the young kids, they don't know. They just dive in and they're embracing it all. And then suddenly they look back and they're like questioning, where exactly did I lose myself? So if there is one advice that you give to those people, what would that be? To stay focused on their, well, actually, you already mentioned it. You mentioned it. It's the why question.
I mean, for me, I never been in that position that you are talking about, for example, because I'm always was a mid down, or I was always in the mid of the table of the DJs around the globe, and I never been so like touring in a way that you are so tired about your life that you are fuck it up, and you can even think about what life it is. Because I mean, when I saw any agenda from really top artists from the industry, and I saw, I don't know, 7 gigs in a week, and there is not any single gig in the same city. It's like every day traveling, hotel, dinner. It's not possible to be a healthy life in this way. I don't know how I will. That's the reason why I think I never. I don't know if I'm prepared to be a star DJ like that. Like I never. Honestly, I never was asking for. I'm always like okay, I want to live from the music, but I don't want to live for the music, you know. I mean, I don't want to live for the industry. I want to live for the music, you know. That's the right sentence. For me, music is the most important thing in my life, but when, you know, it's like another drug. You know, money, it's another drug. Money and also the excess of how you say in English, when you want to be more and more and more and more. What's the right word? When you want to be more, it's an addiction. You know, it's like money and I don't know the right word in English, but it's like when you have success and you want more success and more success and more success. In the end, it's like broke, you know. So it's another kind of issue for your mind, you know, because you need to deal with, because especially for the guys who are on top, they are guys that they really wants to win, you know. They need to win, you know. They have that that necessity, or that they have this kind of feeling inside that I want to be number one, you know. And I think,
yeah, I've written something about that on my Instagram recently, about how excessive ambition can really lead
ambition,
to...
that was the word.
Okay,
That was
okay.
the word, yeah. When you
Yeah,
have excess and ambition, I think it's like a joke.
yeah,
Ambition and money,
yeah.
combination really hard.
There, research has been done as well that when you are, it's not just the ambition, because you will, if you have excessive ambition, you go and cross all your boundaries. And I'm all about setting boundaries. I do keynotes about this. It's so important. And setting boundaries starts with knowing what are your boundaries, right? And that is exactly what you just said, like knowing why you are doing what you are doing, which is purpose. And also, why are you thinking that you need those escapes, right? Is it to let go? Is it so? If you it all comes down to knowing yourself, what you want from life and what you want from your career. Another drug that I want to tap into with you today, which has the same effect on our brain, is social media. Because you also said something in our phone call before, when we were catching up. You said, I was comparing myself to others to see, you know, I was in the studio sometimes, not being so productive and effective at all, because I was comparing myself to other artists to see what they were doing to become more successful, or maybe I should do the same things. And you even said this, you said, I was trying to be and do something that I'm not. And this sentence I really literally used in my talk for Beatport, that you said that, because I think so many people are doing this, trying to be and do something that they are not. So you did that, you know, you were also
Yeah, of course.
social media had bad effects on you. So how did you change that? How are you coping with it right now?
Because one day you wake up and you say, I'm not happy. It's so simple, because you wake up in the morning and you see that you are trying to be a person that you are not. You know, I'm a guy who smile, you know, all the time. I really like to smile. And I was doing shots like super serious, or all my posts was like the most serious thing that you ever saw, and that's not mine anymore, you know. And so one day I say, okay, if I'm going to lose followers, I will lose it. I don't give it a shit. I will be myself, and I will share the things what I want to share, and I want to say whatever that I want to say. And if somebody is not happy with that, well, there is a button that usually on my social media, many people use that it's unfollow, and they can use it, and that's all, you know. That's what it is. If you don't like what I am, I can do nothing, you know. But I will not be anymore an artist first, and then a person that I am not.
I really want to thank you for what you're saying right now. Happened to me as well. I have deleted lots of stuff from my Instagram because even really good friends, they really meant it well, like big techno DJs. I'm not gonna mention their names. They really wanted the best for me, but it's like, that's too girly, or you know, you're being too pretty on that photo, or you're being,
You are a girl.
and I'm like,
What
I
is it?
cannot help it that I am blonde and I don't look very tough. You know, I sometimes I do feel like a guy from the inside, but I don't look like it.
Okay.
And it's not that I was using my body or something to get attention, because that is something that, and I'm not bashing other female artists. It's just not what trying to be something that I'm not. That's not what really suits me. So I was also lost, like, okay, what is too pretty? And then you see other artists that, and they're like, well, they're being all the sexy whatever, and then I'm like, why don't I just be me? You know, why? You know, and I know techno is a lot of black and white and whatever, and I wear black all the time, which is not, has nothing to do with techno or whatever. But I'm also a colorful person, right? And I'm like, I really also, I'm like, you know what, I'm just being me here, you know, let's just let it go. And so I think a lot of people need to um, really be aware of what it does to you, not just when you are posting something yourself, like how real is that, how is that really you, is that something that you really want to bring to where you are going, and ask yourself, what do I want to send out, how do I want people, I think this is a really important question as well, how do I want people to feel when they think of me, right? Do they want to think of Flug as, you know, not Sebastian Lopez, but as Flug, as this tough guy who looks serious and he's super techno and he's all of, and he doesn't really have a sensitive side to him? Or is Flug what I really am a preacher for? That's my one-liner. You always bring yourself to the stage, to any stage. You're not just Flug, you're Sebastian as well.
Yeah, that's the reason.
It's lovely to see that you are embracing that. That's an example to all of us. Yeah.
I've been dealing with other names, using different names with all my career, just avoiding myself. That's what's my real name. My real name is Sebastian Lopez. And like a few years ago, when I joined my new agency, my manager told me, man, you need to change your name to your real name. And he comes with the really perspective of the business thing, you know, about names. But also for me was like, okay, he can be right, but also I'm Sebastian Lopez. This is what I am. This person, the person who is going to the stage, or the person who make the music, is Sebastian Lopez. It's not Flug or Junior Lopez before, or Lincoln Ray, or whatever. It's names that you build in some point to recreate the business, you know, or to recreate yourself. But in the end, I said, okay, I'm 40, almost 40 right now. So, okay, I'm already grow up, you know, and I'm ready to be Sebastian Lopez as it is, you know,
wow.
with the good things and the bad things, because all of us, we have good things and bad things, and this is life, is balance. And in this moment, that's, many people ask me right now, why you are using Sebastian Lopez on your social media? And always I answering that, well, that's my real name. But the truth behind it's that I don't want to be anymore any other person. It's just me. And so it's taken 20 years of career. 20 years of career. It's not easy to be yourself in this world anymore. But not for me, also for my child. It's something that I was building and building with her. You need to be yourself. You know, I can bring you my opinion about your job when she paint, or your clothes, what she dress, but it's my opinion. It's not your opinion. So if you want to dress I don't know, swimming bath, and go to the school with the swimming bath, no problem. It's yourself. You know, it's what you are. I have a big conversation this last Saturday with friends at home, that one of them asked to, we are two partners, two couples, and we both of us, we have childs, and another person that doesn't have child asks, what if your child comes and say that it's gay? And I saw her like, why you ask me this? No, because some people feel bad, and some people, for me, it's exactly, absolutely exactly the same. What's the difference in between be a straight person or a gay person or even transsexual? You know, it's your daughter. It's whatever that she wants to be. You need to support.
Yeah.
You need to explain her that the good thing to be that thing, you know, not the bad thing to be that thing, you know, or if it's a bad, because humans always it's looking for a bad shit, you know, but if you always looking for the good things and not the bad things, life is more easy. You know, for me, life, my wife is smiling a few days ago because I wake up in the morning, I was so smiling, and I just opened the door, and my neighbor is coming around for the other door, and I was smiling and just singing and blah blah blah, and my wife asked me, why you are so enthusiastic today? And I say, you know what, I'm so happy that I want to share this happiness with other people, because it's important. It's nice when you see people that is happy, that it's not always, you know, drama queen. You know, and I mean, and it's not bad to be sad. You know, for example, many people tell me, why you all day listening this depressive music? Because I listen a lot of Radiohead or and it's because I love this music and make me happy, not make me at all. It's depend of how you see things, you know. Music can be dark, can be sad, but if you feel it, maybe it's full your life with another sensations in your mind that it's not the same that yours, because maybe you are sad today and you are really sad, and maybe you play Radiohead and you go in deep. For me, it's completely the opposite, but it's because it's me. But then it's, you know, judgment. I think that's the problem. It's the judgment of people about other people's. You know, it's like
the judgments.
All people wants to have an opinion about other people's life. You know, and every life is different. Every people it's having different approach to be happy, to be sad, to be successful in life, and I don't know. I'm really I'm going really deep right now.
I just let it be. But I do want to thank you for your time and sharing your stories today, because I think you are, even if we inspire only a few people that are watching this, we spoke about purpose, we spoke about environments that may be toxic, but where you need to stay resilient, which working out for you really, really helped you find that balance. And what you just said, it's you started to embrace who you are and all of it, and you are not trying to be or do something else that you are not. So to round up this conversation, I think we can go on for another hour, but maybe let's do that in the future. Let's maybe have another conversation in the near future and catch up on things. But for the viewers right now, is there something like maybe one eye opener that you want to share with them to close?
Well, I mean, people are so deep right now in problems. We have this conversation by phone. I'm an Argentinian guy, and since we born, fathers and good fathers and all your family around, it's telling you how they survive to different crises. Yeah. Because my grandfather was Spanish, who is coming from the war to Argentina. In Argentina, they have a really good life, and then they have a shitty life, and they need to come back to Spain after many years living there, and ups and downs. Argentinian country, it's so complicated, so complex, but super complex. Mm-hmm. And it's because we always been like colonized in some point before. First because Spanish come, then because the worldwide thing, it's like step by step, like keeping all the resources of the country, and governments are super bad in Argentina, and there is not really honest people in the government, and it's so hard for Argentinian people. So you learn, since you start to live, how to deal with those problems. Mm-hmm. And make those problems profit. Mm-hmm. So why I'm so happy during this quarantine, it's because I take those problems, all the problems that we have, like economics, like health, mental health, I don't know, anxiety, because you lose your job, and you are doing this for so many years, and one day they say, okay, you can do it anymore. Mm-hmm. And that's it, something that it's make your comfort zone really strange, Mm-hmm. So what I can do, I can stay at home, of course, just random seeing what other DJs are doing, what war it's become to a really self-shift, and really fake things, fake news, fake everything. And you can stay there and say, oh, war is a shit, life is a shit, everything is a shit. And you go deep into that problems, and you live every day just posting shitty things in your social media, talk with all your friends about the shit that happened. Or you can take advantage about all the stuff and say, okay, what I can do to change things. Mm-hmm. First in my life, and the people who around me. Mm-hmm. Then if I can do anything else. Yeah. But the best thing that you can do is think about how to deal with this shit, making good things for you. Mm-hmm. Like taking all the time that you had to make, I don't know, to solve your economic problems, not complaining about them, just trying to make these problems disappear, Mm-hmm. And the only way to do that, it's with one thing that it's like it's super important for me, and it's like having a really perspective about present and future.
Yeah.
And in the same time, just fighting for having a better life.
Yeah.
Having a better life, it's not be rich.
Mm-hmm.
It's not be having a better life is just be happy.
Mm-hmm.
Be happy. That's cursi and simply thing that you can read everywhere, but it's the more important thing in life for me. Be happy. Wake up this morning sleeping well, and even if you have a really, 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 really bad present, fight for a better future. But not thinking, oh, okay, maybe in a month I will be okay. No, I need to do something today,
right now, to
be in a few months after. So stop to complain and focus on being your life profit, being your life just productive, productive in every single ways. That's the best.
Thank you. It's really, really strong. It's what you're saying is change your perspective. Don't be a victim of the situation, and look at what are the positive things and where am I able to take action to change something. And that's a really, really strong one. So thank you so much for that. Thank you for your time.
I need you to resume all my my long things. I think it's better to you cut like small parts and then you resume, because there is so much
we will see. We will see. I actually like the raw version, it's our conversation and people can just take part right now. So thank you so much, and I wish you a great day, and I'm sure we will be catching up soon over the phone, and then maybe do another recording,
But you can visit us in Barcelona, whatever you want.
Yeah, when it's possible again. We are experiencing quite a heavy lockdown right now, but then I'll come visit you in Barcelona.
You're in lockdown right now? You need to be at home 100%
of
the day?
Still go outside, but only with 2 people maximum, and thank God gyms are still open. So I can still do my workout and build up resilience.
Okay, that's good.
Definitely.
That's good. Okay, my dear, thank you very much to make this possible. Hope this stupid words from a stupid guy make a change in some disturbed minds. I know changes are hard and difficult, but once you start to fight with adversity and you be strong, I think nobody can stop you, just death. And that's something that you don't need to think about it.
That's a great one. Thank you so much, Sebastian.
You're welcome.
Ciao.
Thanks for listening to Soundwaves. If you like what you heard, then please subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or Google Podcasts. You can also follow me on my Instagram, Soundwaves the Podcast, or go to our brand new YouTube channel where you can find all my conversations on video.